Welcome to Tech Talk Central, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah. Today we're diving deep into something lots of you with smaller living rooms might be wondering about.
Yeah, exactly. Which 2.1 channel soundbar gives you the best audio bang for your buck?
We've got two popular ones lined up, the Hisense HS2100 versus the TCL S55H class.
Right. Both aimed at that smaller space. We've looked at the specs, sure, but maybe more importantly, we've dug into what actual users are saying.
The real-world experience to help you figure out which one might be the better call for your setup.
Let's do it, because let's be honest, those built-in TV speakers, usually pretty weak.
Oh, definitely. So we're going to unpack what these soundbars really offer, features, and how they actually perform day to day.
Okay, let's kick things off with the Hisense HS2100. What are the core features we're looking at here?
So the Hisense HS2100, it's a 2.1 system. That means, two main channels in the bar and then a separate wireless subwoofer.
For the bass, right.
Exactly, for that low-end rumble. It's rated at 240 watts max audio output, which is pretty decent.
Yep.
And it uses DTS Virtual.X. That's supposed to give you a more spatial sound experience, kind of widen the soundstage.
Wider sound, okay, not quite surround, but better than stereo?
Right. It also supports standard Dolby audio, and you get 6 EQ modes, music, movies, news, that kind of thing.
So you can tweak the sound a bit.
Yeah, customize it. Connectivity-wise, you've got HDMI ARC, which is key for easy connection to your TV, plus Bluetooth 5.3 for streaming music, and an optical input, too.
And does it come with everything you need?
Pretty much. It includes an HDMI cable, the manual, and even a wall mounting kit, which is, a nice touch.
That is handy. Okay, so those are the specs on paper, but what are people actually hearing when they get this home? How's the sound quality in reality?
Well, generally the feedback is pretty positive on sound, especially considering the price point.
Yeah.
The subwoofer gets mentioned a lot, seems to provide really good, satisfying bass. A big step up from TV speakers, which is kind of the point.
Makes sense. What about dialogue? Sometimes that gets lost.
People say dialogue is clearer, yeah, easier to follow movies and shows. And streaming music over Bluetooth, users say it's decent.
And those EQ modes, do they actually make a difference?
Apparently, yes. They seem to offer useful adjustments. Some people even found the music EQ mode gave them really crisp highs for, movies and sports.
Interesting. Okay, so good sound for the money. Now, setup. Big hurdle for some folks.
Right.
What's the word on getting the Hisense up and running?
This seems to be a real strong point for the Hisense. Users consistently say it's super easy.
Oh, good.
Really quick. It pairs fast. HDMI ARC connection is usually straightforward.
Yeah.
And having those mounting templates included helps too.
Okay, so user-friendly, sounds good for the price, which leads us to value. Is it seen as a good buy?
Yeah, definitely. It often gets called out as a great budget option. Good value for what you pay. People seem genuinely pleased with the performance they get.
Any other functionality notes, like how it plays with other gear?
Some users mention it works particularly well with Roku TVs, so if you have one, that might be a little bonus.
Good to know.
And the remote. Functional. Does the job. No major complaints there.
And connectivity overall, reliable.
Seems so. Bluetooth works well, subwoofer delivers, and having multiple options like HDMI ARC is definitely a plus for flexibility.
All right, that paints a pretty clear picture of the Hisense HS2100. Let's switch gears now to the TCL S55H S-Class. What's its angle for smaller rooms?
Okay, the TCL S55H, also a 2.1 channel system, also with a wireless sub.
Right.
This sub has a slightly smaller 5.5-inch driver, but it adds a specific bass boost feature if you want extra thump. Power-wise, it's rated up to 220 watts. Slightly less than the Hisense, but probably not a huge difference in a small room.
Okay, 220 watts. What else?
Now, here's a big one.
Yeah.
It supports both Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual.X.
Dolby Atmos. That's interesting at this level.
Exactly. Atmos can potentially add that height dimension to the sound, making it feel more, three-dimensional, especially if the content supports it.
Right, you need Atmos content for the full effect.
You do. And another key feature, AI sonic auto room calibration.
What does that do?
Basically, it listens to your room's acoustics and automatically adjusts the sound output to try and sound best in your specific space.
That's pretty smart. Like optimizing it for the room.
Precisely. Can make a real difference. For connectivity, you get Bluetooth streaming, HDMI ERC, which is the enhanced version of ARC, good for Atmos.
Higher bandwidth.
Yep. Plus optical and even USB audio playback. And like the Hisense, it comes with the cables and a wall mount kit.
Okay, Atmos and room calibration. Definitely attention grabbers. How does the sound quality stack up according to users?
The word terrific comes up. Many really praise that AI room calibration, saying it genuinely improved clarity and balance in their specific room.
So it actually works.
Seems like it, for many. Voices and music are described as very clear. Powerful sound for the price. Again, a big upgrade from weak TV audio. And the sub adds solid depth.
Okay. And setup. Is it as easy as the Hisense?
Generally, yes. Also described as super easy to set up and connect. Mounting is simple too.
Good. And value for money. How's the TCL viewed there?
Also considered good value, a solid pick for a budget soundbar, especially with those advanced features. Affordable and works well seems to be the consensus.
What about how it works day to day? Any compatibility things?
It seems to pair nicely with TCL TVs, as you might expect. Some users found their TCL TV remote could control the soundbar volume, which is convenient.
Nice integration there. And the build quality. Does it feel cheap?
Actually, no. Several comments mention it feels surprisingly premium and solid for a budget model.
Interesting. And its size. Good for those smaller rooms it's aimed at.
Yeah, the compact size is seen as a plus. Doesn't overwhelm the space, but still delivers performance. Good balance.
Okay, now, we heard maybe some connectivity quirks with the TCL. What's that about?
Right. So while it offers good options, including that HDMI EARC, a few users have reported some issues, like occasional Bluetooth dropouts or problems with the optical connection.
Okay. So not quite as smooth sailing as the Hisense seem to be for everyone.
Potentially. It seems the Hisense connectivity, especially via ARC, might be a bit more consistently trouble-free based on feedback. Also, and this is important to get the most out of the TCL, like the settings and that AI calibration,
Yeah.
you need to download and use the TCL Home app.
An app requirement. Some people might not love that extra step.
Exactly. It adds a layer that the Hisense doesn't seem to have.
Okay, so we've got a good handle on both now. Let's put them head to head. If someone's choosing between these two for their small living room, what are the key deciding factors?
I think the biggest one is spatial audio. If you really want that Dolby Atmos experience, that potential for height effects, the TCL S55H is the one that offers it.
But you need the content.
You need the content, and you need to decide if it's a priority for you. The Hisense has DTS Virtual.X for wider sound, but not that vertical element.
Okay, Atmos is point TCL. What else?
That AI Sonic auto room calibration on the TCL is another major difference. It could really optimize the sound for your room specifically. The Hisense doesn't have an equivalent feature.
Right, point TCL again for room tuning.
But then you flip to connectivity. If super reliable, straightforward connection, especially HDMI ARC, is top of your list, the Hisense seems to have maybe a slight edge based on user reports. Fewer mentions of glitches?
So maybe point Hisense for simplicity and potentially reliability there.
Could be, yeah. Power output. Hisense is slightly higher on paper, 240W versus 220W. But in a small room, you might not notice a huge difference.
Probably not decisive.
Probably not. And then there's that app requirement for the TCL's advanced features. That's a personal preference thing, convenient control, or an extra hoop to jump through.
Yeah, it depends on the user.
Exactly. Both are generally well-liked for sound relative to cost and ease of setup, making them strong budget contenders.
Okay, so let's try and bring it all together for you. If you're looking to boost your sound in a smaller living room without, spending a ton, both the Hisense HS2100 and the TCL S55H S-Class are definitely worth considering.
For sure. They both offer a big upgrade over TV speakers.
The TCL S55H, it might pull ahead if Dolby Atmos and that automatic room calibration sound really appealing to you. Just be aware of those potential connectivity quirks some users mention and the fact that you'll need the app for certain things.
Right. Whereas the Hisense HS2100 looks like a really solid choice if you prioritize like dead simple setup and super reliable connections. It still gives you a good sound upgrade for the money just without the Atmos or auto tuning.
So ultimately, like we always say, the best choice really boils down to your specific needs, what features matter most to you, and how you plan to use it.
Couldn't agree more. Think about your content, your room, and your tolerance for maybe needing an app versus wanting pure plug and play.
To find the latest prices and deals on both of these soundbars, be sure to check out the links we've put in the description below.
And hey, if you found this comparison useful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel for more tech deep dives like this one.